We managed to line up a volunteering position in the Sahara Desert, helping at a desert camp near the village of Mohammed. After a long and uncomfortable 10-hour bus ride from Marrakesh, we finally arrived in the village at night. We were greeted by 2 local men who put us into the back of a truck and drove us down a seriously dark road, but the sky above us was filled with stars. The next morning we woke up and could finally see exactly where we were. We were basically in a camp with about 6 mud huts around us. The main hut was a very basic kitchen cum diner, where you would sit on the floor to eat, and the lovely chap called Bubba would cook us some food. And the 4 other huts were accommodation for us volunteers, so there were some dorm style ones and a couple of privates. Luckily, Craig and I managed to get this lovely private one to ourselves. The buildings are made from a mix of mud, sand and water, so you can make bricks from that, and they are surprisingly cool in the day and warm at night because the desert is freezing at night. The camp was home to 3 amazing dogs and 4 newborn puppies. Most of the time the dogs would accompany us and keep us entertained in the dunes as we ran around like hooligans.
On your marks, get set, go!
Amazingly, there is water in the Sahara, and every few days the owner would turn on a pump which would get the well going. It would spill out onto the muddy floor and we'd jump around in these pits of mud, filling them up with sand to create the right consistency to make bricks. When we weren't making mud bricks or playing card games with the other volunteers, we'd head out into the sand dunes which were surrounding the camp. We didn't have any electricity, so as soon as it was dark, we'd use candles and torches, and then we'd sit around the campfire listening to the locals singing their traditional Saharan songs. The dog who gave birth to the 4 puppies did so in the new toilet block which was being built, and the owners asked us to leave them there until they were ready to come out on their own. So we impatiently waited, and eventually they ventured out and we cuddled them non-stop. A few of us volunteers decided to pay for a 4x4 tour to take us to the Erg Chicaga sand dunes. The area leading to the dunes was very barren, there was hardly a soul around, so it was unfortunate when our car broke down right there. We tried pushing the car to get it going again, but there was a huge issue with the gearbox and the car just would not drive. We had no idea how long we'd have to wait for, so we sat in the shade of the car, ate some lunch, and after a couple hours we saw a car on the horizon which came to save us. We checked into a rather fancy desert camp, much nicer than where we were volunteering, and then we rented a snowboard so we could take it up the highest dune and board our way back down. Craig was sick all night with a bad belly, so he didn't sleep very well, but we were woken at the crack of dawn to go on a camel ride to see the highest sand dune and catch the sunrise. After a couple of fun days in a different area of the desert, it was time for us to head back to camp, and also time for us to explore more of Morocco.